In this video, I'm going to teach you how to script this fun project right here, and then I'm going to teach you how to make it kill you if you touch it. If you're new to the channel, I'm Kushal. I've been scripting for almost 10 years now, and I'm here to make scripting more fun for you. So first up, we have to actually make the part. So what you're going to do is you're going to go over to home, you're going to click on part, and then this is going to create your part. And then go on brick color and then set it to red. Now, if you don't see this properties or this explorer, maybe your studio looks like this, just click on view, explorer properties. And now that you have a red brick, you just have to set the material to neon. This is going to cause it to glow. And then you see these handles right here. If you don't see these handles, click on home and then click on scale and then click on your part and you'll see the handles. Now what you want to do is you basically just want to increase the size so that it's kind of like a rectangular prism. And so I'm just gonna make it a little bit longer. All right, now I want you to notice this other thing really carefully. So if you look under properties, there's under C-frame, there's something called orientation. Now, as I rotate this more and more, look at what's happening. See that Y right there? So orientation has 3 different numbers. Just focus on that middle number for now, that 7. So that Y right there, watch this, ready? Boom. As I'm rotating this, look at what's happening to that Y. It's just increasing and increasing and increasing and increasing, right? So let's go into our code. So inside of server script service, click on the plus, click on the script, and then it'll create a script for you. And you can get rid of the hello world. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to tell Roblox that I want to increase that middle number. And I just want it to keep on increasing and it'll just go higher and higher and higher. And if we can tell Roblox that we want to increase that middle number, then Roblox will make it spin. And that's how it works. So now the question is, how on earth do you tell Roblox to increase that middle number, right? Now it's actually pretty simple. Just follow along. So I'm going to say local part equals workspace.part. So what this means is let part be the part that's inside of workspace. So workspace is this thing right here. That's the workspace. And then part is this thing right here. So we're saying let the variable called part be equal to that thing right there. So from now on, every single time I type in part, Roblox will know that I'm explicitly talking about this part right here, which is our red part. Okay, so now that we have access to our part, how do we change the orientation? So remember that when we did this, our orientation, the middle number, ended up changing. So we need to tell Roblox that we want to change the middle number of the orientation. So let me just reset it back to 0, 0, 0, and let's just try something. So why don't we try telling Roblox that we want this thing to be rotated like maybe 40 degrees. So we want Roblox to basically rotate it like that. So I'm just going to reset it back to 0, 0, 0. How do I tell Roblox that I want to basically rotate it 40 degrees like that? So we want to basically tell Roblox that we want this rotated 40 degrees. So we basically want to tell Roblox that we want to set this middle number of the orientation to 40. And that's what we need to figure out. So the way we're going to do it is just go over to your script. You can start typing part.orientation equals vector3.new 0, 40, 0. So what does that mean? Remember part is that part that we talked about. And then orientation is the thing that we're trying to change. So part is the object, orientation is the property of the part. So we're trying to set the orientation to these 3 numbers right here. And out of these 3 numbers, remember that we only care about the middle number. That's why we're setting the middle number to 40. So this line of code right here will basically tell Roblox, I want this thing to rotate 40 degrees. And that's it. And now let me just reset it to 0. And then I'm going to go over to home. I'm going to click on run. And as you can see, Roblox actually did it for us. Roblox actually, basically, all it did was go over to orientation and then set it to 40. Now you might have noticed that some of these other numbers have changed. That's just because of physics. So actually what I want to do is I want to set anchored to true. And now if we try it, yeah, so now 0, 40, 0. So because we set anchor to true, that made it so that this thing doesn't interact with this base plate, this giant gray checkered thing. And so its orientation is 0, 40, 0, which is exactly what we told it right here. Now, I know you guys are really, really smart. So here's a really, really simple quiz. What do I do if I want the part to, instead of being rotated 40 degrees, I want it to rotate 90 degrees? What do you think I have to do? I'm going to give you 5 seconds, like change something in this code to make it rotate 90 degrees. So I'm going to give you 5 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, hopefully by now you have paused the video, tried it by yourself. And what you have to do is you basically just have to change this 40 to 90. That way we tell Roblox we want to rotate this thing 90 degrees. And now if we click on run, you'll see that it basically just set the middle number to 90, which is exactly what we told it to do. Okay, so now we can begin building on this idea of how do we get this thing to rotate, right? So let's start this out at 0, 1, 0. What does that do? So I'm gonna click run. Okay, so you can see it barely rotated, right? It barely moved. And if you look at this orientation under the Y, there's this 1 here. And that's because we told it to go to 0, 1, 0. Now, isn't the act of spinning just rotating it by 1 degree? So notice I can just go 1, I can go 2, I can go 3, I can go 4. And if I do this for a very, very long time, and I just keep on doing it, then the part starts rotating, right? So basically what we have to do is we need to tell Roblox, I want this part to have an orientation of 0, 1, 0, which will make it look like this. And then I want the part to have an orientation of 0, 2, 0, which will make it look like this. Like this. So right there, 0, 2, 0. And then I want the orientation to be 0, 3, 0. And then I want the orientation to be 0, 4, 0. And then I want the orientation to be 0, 5, 0. And hopefully you guys can see the point where all I'm doing is I'm just changing this middle number and I'm just increasing it by 1 every single time. And eventually, if you do that a whole bunch of times, then this thing starts appearing like it's spinning. And that's exactly what we need to tell Roblox. So we need to tell Roblox, get the orientation to 0, 1, 0, then get the orientation to 0, 2, 0, then get the orientation to 0, 3, 0. So hopefully you guys can see the point. And the way we're going to actually do this is we're going to say, so we're just going to copy this. I'm going to paste it, 0, 2, 0, copy this, paste it, 0, 3, 0, copy this, paste it, 0, 4, 0. Now the issue with this, there's a few issues with this, but the main issue with this is that this will all happen instantly. So the moment you click on play, you won't even see Roblox set the orientation to 1, 2, 3. It'll just instantly set it to 4 because we're not telling Roblox to wait at all. We're just telling Roblox instantly do this, instantly do this, instantly do this. And so we need to tell Roblox that we want to wait. And the way we're going to do this is we're just going to boom, press enter there, type in task.wait 0.1. So this task.wait 0.1 means wait 0.1 seconds before you do this. So if we read this code from the bottom all the way to the, or from the top all the way to the bottom, it's going to look like this. Let part be the part inside of workspace. Set the part's orientation to 1 degree and then wait 0.1 seconds and then set the part's orientation to 2 degrees. And we're basically just going to repeat this where we're going to tell Roblox, set the orientation, wait a little bit, set the orientation, wait a little bit, set the orientation, wait a little bit. And we're just going to do this a whole bunch of times. So there is a better way of doing it, but I want to show you this way first so that you can understand it. So 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I'm just going to continue. And then, okay, so we have 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to go 9, we're going to go 10, we're going to go 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And in practice, what you'd think is, so you'd basically just want to go from 1 all the way down to like 360. That'll basically make it rotate like 1 circle around. So what we want to do is, let me just 0, 0, 0 this out. Now when I click on run, look at that. You see that right there? It's appearing to rotate. And it's because of our code right here. So because we told it rotate 1 degree, wait a little bit, rotate 2 degrees, wait a little bit, that's what's happening, and it's happening really fast. So you can see it's making that small little rotation movement. All right, so hopefully you guys can see that this is going to be quite a struggle. If you want to continue, you know, you'd have to go down from 1, 2, 3, all the way down to like 360, and then you'd have to start back at 1 again. Like if you want this thing to spin like this, you literally have to say, set the orientation to 1, set the orientation to 2, to 3, to 4, all the way up to 360, and then you'd have to do it again. And that is a lot of work. However, because scripting is very fun, Roblox and other programming languages actually have invented a way for us to do this a lot faster. And the way we're going to do it is using a while loop. So just follow along, while true do, and then I'm just going to get rid of all of this. I was just using that to show you guys how it works. So now this right here means do it forever. So do it forever, and then whatever is here, it'll do forever. So what do we want it to do forever? Well, we want the orientation to change. So I'm putting that there, and we also want it to wait a little bit. So do it forever, set the orientation to 0, 1, 0. Wait a little bit. Set the orientation to 0, 1, 0. Wait a little bit. Okay, so this is a whole lot better than, you know, copy and pasting lines until you're 85. So what you want to do is, right now, this isn't going to work properly, and it's because we're setting the orientation to 1. So we're basically telling Roblox to change this orientation, which is right here. We're telling Roblox to repeatedly just set it equal to 1. But we don't want it to always set it equal to 1. Otherwise, it'll just look like this. We want it to go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 all the way up, and it'll just keep on increasing. That's what we want. So we need to tell Roblox we don't want it to just set it to 0, 1, 0. We actually want to increase it by 0, 1, 0. And so you can actually do something like this. Set the part's orientation to whatever the orientation used to be plus 1 degree. That's it. So now, forever, set the orientation to whatever it used to be plus 1 degree. That basically means if the orientation is 0, 0, 0, what is that plus 1? It's 0, 1, 0. And then what's 0, 1, 0 plus another 1 here? It's 2. And then 3. So literally, it's just telling Roblox to make it spin. And yeah, now that if you try this, click on run, you'll see that it is now moving, and we are still not 84 years old. So we still didn't have to copy and paste this 85 gajillion times. It literally just ends up working fine. So now, what if you want this to be smoother? So like right now, you can see it's a little bit choppy. It's a little bit jittery. If you want to make this smoother, you just have to change this. So instead of waiting 0.1 seconds, you can just make it 0.01 seconds. So now if you run this, it's way smoother. And here I am in the game with my rotating part. It's not gonna do anything if I touch it because we haven't told it to do anything yet. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna say, okay, part, if I touch it, then basically kill me. So if I touch this part, then kill my character. And here's how that's done. So just follow along. The part got touched, connect function hit. All right, so this means when the part gets touched, do this thing right here. So I'm just gonna illustrate this to you, and the hit is going to be the thing that it touched. I might actually call this other part. So I'm just gonna print it out. So you don't have to do anything for now, just keep watching. I'll click on view, output, I'm just gonna do this to show you so you can understand it. So when the part gets touched, do this. And what is this? We're basically just printing whatever part touched it. So I'm gonna click on play. Okay, so now watch, I'm gonna touch the part, boom. You see that right there? It just showed that my left foot touched it, okay. So basically, all of these parts right here, as soon as they touch this red part, it's printing it out. And where are all of these parts on the Explorer? Well, if you go into workspace, there's something called, so there's a model with your name on it, that's called your character. And then here are all of the different parts that could be touching this red brick right here. So we have, for example, we have the right foot, we have the left lower leg, we have all of these parts, and Roblox is just printing out everything that's touching it. Now notice that inside of your character, there's also something called a humanoid, and humanoid has something called health. If you set health to 0, then your character dies. And that's what we need to tell Roblox to do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say, if other part.parent has a humanoid, then set the humanoid's health to 0. So this might look a little bit confusing, so let me just explain it to you. So remember that our other part was whatever thing is touching this red spinning brick. So in our case earlier, our other part was set to like our right foot. So if our right foot touched it, then it would be right foot. So whatever touches it, whatever touches this red brick is going to be other part, which is this thing right here. So we're saying, so let's pretend that this thing just touched it. So I just went over there and then my right foot touched it. Here's what's gonna happen. It's gonna say, if the right foot's parent, so this is the right foot in the Explorer, right foot's parent is this thing right here. If that thing has a child called humanoid, that means if there's a humanoid underneath this thing, so there is, then you set the humanoid, which is other part.parent.humanoid, because other part is your right foot, other part's parent is this thing. So that's our other part.parent, and then our humanoid is inside of it. So we say .humanoid, and then our health is a property. So humanoid.health equals 0. And now if you go over to it, you'll see that you can, yeah. All right, so that's pretty fun, but we can actually make it faster. How do you think we can make this faster? What do I have to change? I'll give you a hint. It's somewhere here. Just pause the video, try to figure it out. How can I make the part spin faster? So I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? So one way is you change this 1 to a 2. That way, instead of spinning by 1 degree every single time, it's going to spin by 2 degrees every single time. And the other way is you could have made this less, so you could have done like 0.001. But I'm just gonna set it to this. So now part.orientation equals part.orientation plus 2 degrees. And now if you actually play this, it'll spin a whole lot faster. Now it's actually a little bit more fun. Okay, and let's say that you want this to be even faster. So you could change this to 4. And now I don't even think I'm gonna be able to, okay, this is quite a challenge now. Here we go, ready, 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's a little bit too difficult for me. Alright guys, so that's how you do it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. And make sure to watch that one video that I was talking about where I made people jump over that red brick for 10,000 Robux.